People just want to figure out a way to put in little effort consistently in order to produce substantial results. Perfect. What you shed light on is what shines the brightest. Put the phone down, right? Maintain eye contact. Hello and welcome back to AfterWords with Eden. It is always a pleasure to have you here and thank you for stopping by. So today I want to talk about working smart. We talk about it all the time. Working smart at work, working smart at school, working smart with our businesses, our finances, working smart in life. We talk about it all the time. And what does that simply mean? People just want to figure out a way to put in little effort consistently in order to produce substantial results. Perfect. So I was reading about the 80-20 principle. And what this simply means is 80% of the result you want out of life comes from 20% of the effort that you put into life. Perfect cheat code. And I'm wondering, why don't we apply these same principles to our relationships, right? Do little things consistently and produce a massive result at the end of the day. But I feel like when it comes to relationship, the reverse is always the case. People want to do the big things and expect consistent, effective result, but that doesn't always work. See, I'm not displacing the big things. See, I am one of the lovers of those big things, right? For example, buying your partner their dream car, taking them to that expensive dream vacation, taking them to, an expensive restaurant and all of that. Those are beautiful. But we need to understand that these are things that happen once or twice a year, right? And result comes with consistency. Doing the little things consistently, that is where you get the most of result. And today I want to talk about 4 things that you can do over time consistently in order to produce a lasting, effective result in your relationship. The first one is learning to remove distraction. We are so distracted all the time these days. And what does that look like? Your partner is having a conversation with you on one side of the room and you are completely faced the other direction. Your partner is having a conversation about something and you are on your phone. Action speak louder than words. And at that point, what you could possibly be saying is, what you are saying is not important to me, or what I got going on my phone is more important than what you have to say. And nobody wants to feel that way. And that's what brings about the reactivity that we get in our conversation. But then imagine removing distraction by paying close and full attention. What does that look like? Your partner saying something, put the phone down, maintain eye contact. Validate what they're saying, nod in approval, right? Consistently showing this behavior says to the other person, whatever you have to say at any point in time in this life is important to me, and I hear you. That is a wonderful way for people to feel. And when you make people feel that way consistently, it has a lasting result in the relationship over time. Secondly, appreciate each other. We are so prone to highlighting the inadequacies, picking out at all the things that our partners aren't doing right, that we forget the one thing that they're doing perfectly. And I always say this, what you shed light on is what shines the brightest. So if you keep shedding light on all the things they are not doing, that's more of what you're going to see. And if you intentionally share light on the things that you're doing great, that's what you're going to see more. And appreciation can be something you do at the end of each day, right? At the end of the day, before you go to bed, take 1 minute to 3 minutes or 5 minutes of your time and talk about what your partner did right. And if you are a busy couple, this is something that you can do at the end of the week. Pick a day of the week, one to 10 minutes and talk about what you appreciate about your partner. That can look like, hey, I appreciate you for taking out the trash this morning. I appreciate you for, making the bed. I appreciate you for dinner last night. I appreciate you for putting the kids to bed. Things like that, done consistently over time, they can have a lasting effect. You can even take it a bit further, right? Talk about a specific thing at a specific time and how it made you feel. And what does that look like? Hey, I appreciate you for taking out the trash this morning. When you did that, it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like things are always taken care of at home. And the more you highlight that for the other person, the more they want to do more of that, right? So if you want more good things in your relationship, highlight the good things in your relationship. So let's talk about the third one. The third one is learning to repair after conflict. I have heard about the 24-hour principle, and that is when people learn or people have adapted to resolving their conflict before the sun goes down or before the end of the day. Now, that is a principle that I have adopted and I have found it useful. You see, the amazing thing is when I have conflict with my partner, sometimes I have to set my alarm to 11:30 p.m. because I don't want it to exceed into the next day. And it is beautiful when you have a partner that shares the same principle with you. So both of you are intentional around working together to resolve the conflict at the end of the day, not leaving it for one person to do, because that can feel very exhausting, right? So when you come to resolving the conflict, you have to learn to remove blame, right? It's not about who is right or who is wrong at that moment. It's about sharing your individual perspective about the situation, right? Identifying the point of misunderstanding. And lastly, looking for the solution. How do we move forward? What can we do differently going forward so that this pattern doesn't resolve? And that takes me identifying what I want my partner to do differently and what I want to do differently, and him identifying his too. And then after that, let it be and move on to what the next day have to offer. When you do this, what you're saying is that your emotional safety, your emotional state, your feelings at any point matters to me. And my job is to ensure that you are at the best state of mind, right? You remove the ambiguity, you remove the reactivity, you remove the emotional disconnection when you consistently repair after conflict, right? And if you consciously and continuously provide such safety for one another, it can have a lasting, tremendous result on your relationship. And the last one is shared activity, right? Look at for something that both of you do together consistently. And that can be Friday movie nights. In fact, I have a friend that was telling me about how she and her husband have been watching all the late 80s and 70s movie. And they do that every Friday. That's their way of connecting, right? And then it can be game night, like Thursday game nights, like board games, puzzle games, like any game, even painting, drawing, whatever that you can do together, taking walks together every evening, like 5 minutes to 15-minute walks every day. And it can be, reading a book together before you go to bed. You read a book, you read a chapter, you share your idea about it, then cooking together, going shopping together. What you do consistently together can create a stronger connection between two people. So looking at for those shared activities can actually have a lasting, productive result in your relationship. So what am I saying? Working smart is doing the little things consistently over time. When you consistently make your partner feel heard by removing distraction, feel seen by highlighting what they're doing right and appreciating them, creating a safe environment by removing all ambiguity and working towards resolving conflict, and connecting deeply with them through activity, that can have a beautiful, lasting, tremendous result over time. Relationship is all about intentionality. It's about doing those little things consistently. Learn to put in 20% of that effort in order to gain 80% of that result. I wish you all the best in your endeavor. And if you enjoyed this podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could take a minute of your time, like, subscribe, comment. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you again for showing up and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.